So coming off of Kansas now, we're headed to Illinois, and little did I know what was about to happen in a strange turn of events when we get to Illinois.
Killed him! Yes! Oh my gosh, dude. Like, I mean, this is amazing. You did it. I didn't even walk up to him. I'm waiting for you.
I give all the credit to God about killing this deer right now. He's given me this ability to be able to get on deer like this and figure them out and kill them. It's all him. I'm just the tool that he uses, and somehow I'm hoping that he's using this tool for me to show my faith to people, and that I believe in God and Jesus Christ, and that's truly what's most important in life. Big deer, awesome, but Jesus is king.
I'm all shook up. I think I got him. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord.
That sucker came downwind of me, man. And that's just a testament to Faye's and Black Widow product right there.
I was this close to packing everything up. Oh my gosh. This is awesome. Yes!
I just killed the biggest deer I've killed in a couple years.
I don't believe it. First sit.
He was on a string then, come work that scrape that we put the branch butter on yesterday, and he come right in and just power drive him with the mega meat.
Oh my goodness. What a stud.
We just killed a giant, Javin. He's dead right there. Oh my God. What a giant. We work so hard when we get on deer like this, and I mean, dude, it's just amazing. What a deer. Dude. Scissors. You got it. I told you it was, dude.
Everybody knows how crazy I am about big deer, and you know, the buzz was kind of going around already that, you know, I'd killed 3 big bucks in like 8 days. After I got back to Illinois I hunted 1 day on my farm, but I really didn't have a deer I really wanted to kill. Like, I didn't have anything that was a deer other than some call bucks that I was going to shoot. And so I was kind of a little bit perplexed, and Caden, who was my marketing guy at Novix and my contact there, he had a good friend, his name's Ryan, and Ryan owned a great farm, he bought a great farm in Illinois a few years back. He had a really big deer on his farm. Basically, me and Ryan connect on the phone, and we talk, and Ryan gives me an opportunity to hunt this big deer called Scissors. And all he wants in return is for me to give him a land consultation, free of charge. He wants to learn, and I really give this guy kudos in this sense, because he's willing to give up a great deer, or the chance at a great deer, because he's going to set his pride aside and he wants to learn something. And I really feel that that's like a huge thing in today's world. Like, if everybody would just learn from each other, people that have been there and done this, man, you can learn so much. Like, I'm always trying to learn from other people, because you don't know it all. And sometimes people that may not even be as successful of a deer hunter as you are may have some tactics that you can sit there and use and be like, wow, never really thought about it like that. So I always try to keep an open mind, and I really feel like this is what Ryan was doing in this situation. I can take years of experience from a guy that has harvested numerous big bucks. I've made this investment into this big farm I bought, and now I can just take this guy's knowledge and wisdom for years of being after really big deer and being successful, give up 1 deer, but yet that may give me years and years of success on my own farm at killing those same caliber of deer. It also presented a great challenge to me, because now I've got people that are believing in me that, like, I'm this freak of nature that can just go into farms and find big giant deer and kill them. And, I've always kind of had that reputation a little bit, but I try to be very humble about it. Here, I've got the challenge A1 on a property that I've never been on in my life. I've got a legitimate booner status type deer to hunt, and it's going to test me. And I'm kind of actually really looking forward to it. farm. We've never been on this farm. We've been on this farm 10 minutes. The landowner is letting us hunt here. Super nice fella. And he's got a really big deer on this farm. And he wants somebody to get it. He's afraid somebody else is going to get the deer. And it's not that he hasn't been able to get on it, but he just like, man, deer's wearing me out. He goes, I got another big deer to hunt. He goes, you're more than welcome to come up here and hunt this deer if you want. It's a big 10, really big deer. And he's like, you kill it? I just want a free land consultation. So I'm here. And we're going to see if we can't get on this deer. We only got a couple days, but we're going to try. Kind of going by where we know the deer's been spotted or pictures over the years or whatever. So just trying to put a little game plan together, maybe get some eyeballs on him and maybe make some moves from there if we need to. Well, it's November 2nd, the evening. And we're on a different farm tonight that we've never hunted before till tonight. We just come in here and hung some stands. Looking a little bit of cedar thicket. A little bit of grass, some phragmites, some hardwood timber on the edge of the phragmites, standing cornfield to the south, which is on the neighbors. But that standing cornfield's probably 400, 500 yards away, but a lot of bedding in between, cover. So there's a big deer in here. Like I said earlier, the guy that owns this property, he's got a couple pictures of it. The neighbors have got a couple pictures of it. And the deal is, if I can kill this deer, then I gotta come do a land consultation for free for this guy, which I'll be glad to do because it's a big 10. We didn't see him. We saw some deer, but we never saw a real mature buck of any sort. So we left the stands in that night, and it was in an area that, I could see a long ways, and I felt like that's what I needed to do. It was kind of a vast open grassland in between a standing cornfield and a swampy bottom. And I thought, well, maybe we'll catch him moving across this somewhere right before dark. We're back in the same stand we was last evening where we come in and did this hanging hunt. Got a little buck out here pushing doe around through fawn. That's a good sign. Nice frosty morning. Feels super good just to be alive on days like this. Sitting in here with a bow in your hand. We're looking over a good area that's got cedars and CRP grass, standing corn to the north or to the south, about 400 yards. 500 yards maybe, but a lot of phragmites and low-lying areas, just a lot of cover in this area. And there's a really big deer in this spot, so running around. Landowner that has it, him and his neighbors all got pictures of it. They're kind enough to let us try to hunt this deer, see if somebody can get it killed, so we're trying. In the morning, it was kind of the same situation. We saw some bucks, some deer, some coyotes, but we did not see Scissors, and I wasn't really even seeing the sign around there that made me feel like Scissors was right there in that spot, because typically with a giant deer like that, you find that big sign. So we decided to move in a little deeper into the timber and hunt closer to the creek edge and the swamp area and some fingers. And nobody really knew for sure where Scissors bedded on this farm. So that was one thing that a lot of people didn't know. But he was running an area that was, basically 1,000 acres between these neighbors' farms. And so, he's around, Just was he on this farm all the time? I'm Ben Rising, owner of Whitetail Edge Web Show. When part of your living depends on a broadhead, it better be a good one. I want to choose a broadhead that flies true.
Yes. Smoked him, dude! Oh my gosh, Javin!
Leaves big holes and leaves massive blood trails.
It looks like a horror movie on Halloween.
And I choose G5.
Look at that hole. Holy Moses, dude. That is what a mega meat will do by G5. Well, we're gonna go in and do another hanging hunt tonight. Ryan here's the landowner. He's letting us hunt on his farm, and so he said they hardly ever hunt this end of the farm, and he'd kind of like us to check it out. So when people have big buck problems, we try to help solve them. And the only way to do it is to hunt them. Kind of an odd guy, isn't he? I mean, guy comes in, lets you hunt your big bucks. He's just that kind of a dude. Javin's running the camera, so we got the new prime in line. Gonna give her a shot, see if we can't break it in. It's a virgin run. There's two things. We might actually get down through here and decide, you know what, we want to hunt a creek crossing, or we may want to get up in those oaks. But you know these deer are bedded in these bottoms, so it's really tough. I think it's just this is just shooting in the dark and go by some contour and deer sign and set up and hopefully catch a buck cruising. It's November 3rd that we didn't bump. This is Illinois, so there's big bucks everywhere, right?
So, you know, we made a move that one afternoon. You know, we go in and we hang some stands after that morning hunt, get into this timber where a bunch of fingers meet.
All right, we got a tree picked out here. We're not actually going up as high as we originally thought we were going to. There's so many deer trails converging at the bases of these little ridges that we just feel like we're just going to blow all the deer out. So we're just going to sit down here. It's rut time. It's November 3rd. Deer should be cruising. There's a lot of bedding below us. There's bedding above us. Get in between it. Maybe we'll catch one of these big bucks cruising in here. There's a couple big trail intersections and they're tight right to this tree. But that'll give us a chance maybe to get our wind underneath of them or over top of them while we're right tight to the trail. A lot of times I like to be off of it, but there's so many trails right here that I think we're better to sit right on it. Maybe we'll get a chance at one getting out away from us and not getting our wind. And then we can get a shot at it.
I'm like, you know, this could be a good spot to where we could catch some big mature deer moving around. Maybe we'll get an eyeball on scissors and learn a little more. Had some great encounters, but no scissors. I felt like I was getting closer, but again, even in that area, I did not see the sign that I felt like, hey, this is scissors. I decided, we'd hunt there in the morning, the following morning, and if things didn't go the way we wanted, we were going to get down and we were going to scout.
Well, that was somewhat cool. Other than my arm wants to fall off from holding my bow for so long. That doe and her fawn was around us forever, and then that buck come down. And I saw another buck behind him, but he never come all the way down. I don't know why. I'm sure it was another buck. I never could see its rag, but it was super dark. Body deer. It was probably that other bigger deer. But he never come the rest of the way. We could have killed a buck. Just wouldn't have been a big one. But it's really cool to be hunting new place and hang stands and get on deer like that. Makes you feel good. We're gonna try this in the morning again, I think. See what happens. Maybe one of those other deer will come work their way out this night, go that way, and they'll come right back around in the mornings. That's kind of what I think might happen, so I don't really want to move right now. Give it another sit and see what happens. Pretty awesome though.
It was a great morning, beautiful fall morning. Saw lots of deer. And I turned to Javin and I said, this just isn't the spot, man. I was like, it's just not here. I was like, I just don't feel right. I don't see the sign I need to see. I said, so let's get down. So we pulled the stands down out of the tree, and that's the one nice thing about them Novix and the sticks. I mean, you can just pull them, put them together, put them on your back, and you can go hiking again right away. It doesn't take much.
Well, we're setting up a Spartan. I'm gonna make a box scrape over here close to this deer trail. And I know we're in a major bedding area. For deer, period. And a lot of trails right here. But I want to see, we're after a particular deer that the landowner wants us to try to harvest, and he calls them scissors. It's a giant 10-point, a giant buck. So we're trying to do a little homework because it's going to get warm. Javin's got to go back to Ohio for a little bit. So we may take off, let these cameras marinate a little bit, see if we can figure out what this deer's doing during the rut. It's hard to figure out what any deer does during the rut, but at least we'll kind of know if he's even working some of these spots or not, so we don't just waste our efforts concentrating on areas that it ain't going to be. Can't get pictures of it in there. Well, we just moved that camera. We made that scrape, and then we found a huge creek crossing, so we just moved it. We'll leave the scrape there. We put this thing on a stick covering the creek crossing. Maybe we'll get him on this camera. But my screen went wet. It got damp inside. My screen's blank, so I can't even tell if it's working right. And I don't have no cell service, but this has got service. So my other camera does, so I'm sure this one should too, but I don't have any bars.
As we scout, if I find places I want to put these Spartans up, I'll put them up. That way, if we don't find where we want to hunt, we'll let these cameras tell us a story, and if I got to come back, I come back. Well, as we're scouting and lacing some cameras, we finally go to an area that I feel like, looking at the map, I'm like, it's an old strip mine area, had some benches in it, close to swamp, just thicker than snot. When we find this spot, I said, it will just ring out like a bell. I said, it just will. We've come off that creek bottom. We got up into this thicker stuff, and we're starting to find a lot more sign and some bigger buck tracks. So I think we're going to go up on this bench. I can tell by the contour lines there's a bench up here, and it makes a flat and then it goes up again. So we're going to climb up here, get on this bench, look around a little bit, and see what we see. I told Javin, I said, I'm going to go up just a little higher into this strip mine area, I want to go check this bench out. Looks like there's some cedars up there, and I just want to see how this looks. So I climbed about 35 yards up the hill, and I stepped into this cedar flat, broke through some brush, and walked into this cedar. This is where he's at. This is his bedroom right here. May not be every day of his life, but when he's here, this is where he's at. Bunch of big deer are moving through this spot. I said, I got to find a spot right here and hang this stand.
I haven't stepped up on this bench 10 yards and I already see what I want to see. I can see 4 scrapes right here. And I can see rubs. And this is what you're looking for with a big buck. Big mature deer. His bedroom is always just thrashed. Every big deer I've ever killed that I was on them and in their bedding area, it stunk. They had scrapes everywhere and rubs everywhere because they spend so much time in there. It's what they do. They don't like to move around a lot. So they make so much sign in one small area. There's no doubt in my mind we're on this deer now. Alright, I think we found what we're looking for. Found a nice little tree right here. It's kind of got 3 prongs on it, some cedars in front of it. Trim those cedars out, get these Novix tucked in behind it. These stands are small enough we can hunt a tree like that. We're not going to be real high off the ground, but we're going to be right in the roundhouse of how these deer travel on this bench. So we're going to see what we can make happen. We're going to get these stands hung, sit it the rest of the day.
The stand hanging was the easy part. There just was very few trees to pick from, and I wanted to be on the edge of that bench so that my wind would cast over the bench into the swamp. Once we got the stands in place and everything was trimmed just right, I just turned to Javin and I said, man, this deer does not stand a chance. I was that confident that I had found where he was at.
Well, we just literally hung this stand. Me and Javin got down this morning. We're after this really big den. We found a really great spot. It's definitely a thick bedding area. Does, bucks, whatever, but a lot of scrapes. We just weren't seeing the sign we felt like we needed to see to be on bucks. We scouted, put some cameras up at spots, and then we found this spot. And we just hung it right away. We trimmed it out and hung. We've been sitting here half an hour after we got everything done. It's 2:30 in the afternoon, November 4th. We've been sitting here maybe 3 earlier. I bleeded a few times, nothing. I waited about 5 minutes, started bleeding again. Them does come down here, they're shook up. They're blowing about something, but they're not winding us. I want to get some more hot and ready in here, just in case. Oh my God, it's in. Please give me strength. We just killed a giant, Javin. He's dead right there. Oh my God. Javin, what did we just do this morning before we went in the woods? He's down. He went 20 yards. Probably the biggest deer I've ever shot in my life, frame-wise. Jesus, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. I don't believe it, dude. Oh my gosh. He's right there. Oh my God, so good, dude. Oh, what a giant. What a giant. The new prime inline. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be all, but we work so hard when we get on deer like this, and I mean, dude, it's just amazing. I haven't felt like this in a long time, bro. Oh my gosh. Come here. Oh, dude. Oh my gosh. Dude, how big is that deer? Oh. Oh my God. I'm in shock. I'm in shock right now. He came right to the black rack. We were down here grunting. There was does up there. We seen him. We heard a grunt up there. And I'm like, all right, let's. I didn't want to do a bunch of calling because I was like, this deer's around here. And I'm like, you know what? There's a buck up there. I'm gonna doe bleed a few times. So I did that a little bit. Nothing happened. So I did it again. There's two does was right there, and they started kind of blowing. And there's no way they were winding us. I knew they couldn't. I'm like, it's impossible. So then I just decided, you know what? I'm gonna rattle. And here he come, like a king. That is Scissors, the infamous deer that we were invited to hunt because the landowner was like, if you can kill this deer, you're gonna teach me something about my farm. Oh my gosh, dude. Yes! Yes!
He's laying dead right there.
Gosh. I gotta call Ryan. I killed him!
You swear?
I swear to God, he's laying 30 yards, bro.
Promise to God.
Promise to God.
You are the man. No, you didn't.
I swear to you, Ryan. I swear to God, Ryan, I'm not lying to you. He is dead at 23 yards from 40 yards, 35 yards from the tree.
You are insane.
He's freaking huge, bro.
Alright, I'm coming. I'm coming.
Yes! Dude, I gotta get down. Let's get down and look at him. I'm still in shock. I just can't even believe this is happening. Probably it's got to be the second biggest deer of my life, I think. I mean, I don't know, as far as maybe, he may not be the highest scoring deer for sure, but this deer, without me walking up to him yet, not seeing him, to me, he looks so big frame-wise. I don't know what to say. It doesn't matter what he scores. I don't really care. That I don't care about. The cool thing was to have in 3 days, we killed this deer on a farm we've never hunted. He's a giant, big old, I mean, this deer's huge body-wise. A lot of people in the neighborhood know he's here. They've got pictures. They've seen him. And this landowner was so cool. And he's like, look, dude, come up and hunt this deer. He's like, if you can kill this deer, you basically can kill any deer on the planet, and you're going to teach me something about my farm. And then all I want is you to give me a free land consultation. And turns out this guy, now we've become such good friends just in the last, we've been talking for 5 months, whatever. But the invite to hunt this deer just came this week after I was in Illinois. And he's so cool. I mean, God bless him, because we're become such good friends, and we just click and we mesh. And God has a way of putting people in your life, and there's more reasons that things like this, like just me and Ryan meeting now, and becoming friends. I bet there's a whole lot more in store for us than just me killing this deer, and who knows what God has planned for us. But all I can say is I give all the credit to God about killing this deer right now. I mean, he's given me this ability, I don't know what it is, to be able to get on deer like this and figure them out and kill them. It's all him. I mean, I'm just the tool that he uses, and somehow I'm hoping that he's using this tool for me to show my faith to people, and that I believe in God and Jesus Christ, and that's truly what's most important in life. Big deer, awesome, but Jesus is king. Oh my gosh, dude. Like, I mean,
This is amazing.
you did it. I didn't even walk up to him. I'm waiting for you. It's crazy.
So
You ain't gonna believe this footage.
it's awesome. Let's go check this guy out.
We've been looking for this guy for 3 years. Ben comes in.
3 days.
3 days.
He was right here.
Oh, right on top of you.
He's right here, and I'm right there.
And he came from here.
He came down, worked this trail, because what they do is they go right here and go right under the tree.
So does that rattling work better in here because it's so thick? It forces them out of the top of that ridge to come check it
Well,
out?
it could, but I mean, you don't like to just blow rattles, dear.
Oh, he didn't go anywhere. And he went nowhere. Holy cow. Holy cow.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Holy smokes, Ryan.
What a deer.
Dude.
Scissors. You got it.
I told you it was, dude. Look at this dude. Oh my gosh. Look at those beams.
Those are big.
Wow. We've only got a few daylight pictures ever of this deer. And my neighbors, of course, they've all gotten pictures of him. We've had a recon mission to try to work together to trick this guy. And we haven't been able to do it.
So as you can see, what an epic moment This was a true test, a true experience for me. It was really awesome to be able to, go to a farm like that I'd never been on before and make it all happen that fast. And I'm sure there was some luck and the good Lord involved in this too, but I feel really fortunate to have some of these abilities and, the backing that I have. And a lot of people think that I just hunt for a living, but I don't. There's no doubt in my mind we're on this deer now. Being able to envision in my head what was going on in front of me without being able to see it. When those does were up there blowing around, I could hear a deer grunt here or there. I just could see it, what was going on, and I didn't know that it was Scissors above me, but I had a really good feeling it was Scissors. And I think there was another buck up there, and Scissors was kind of like walking him around and pushing him off, and then pushing him does, and all I did was get his goat by rattling at him. It just got to him, and having the Black Widow in the air a little bit, it all comes together, it all helps. One of the things that really stick out to me about this hunt was how truly, genuinely happy Ryan was for me to kill that deer. Here he owns this land, he's invested in it, and I just killed his biggest deer on the whole farm. And the guy is just as happy for me as if he had killed it. It was a really cool experience to share. It's something I'll never forget.
What a deer. Dude. That's Scissors. You got it.
One of the most outstanding things to me, Ryan's attitude about seeing this deer get harvested and his neighbors and how cool all of them were and how genuinely happy they were to see the story of Scissors come to an end and how it happened. And hopefully it's going to help Ryan with his farm.
We just killed a giant, Javin. Nothing better than tearing down stands on a day of victory. It's the best feeling ever. Hooking the bow rope to your bow and dropping it, taking the stands out after all the work and effort of trying to do it, and then you succeed. It's just nothing like it. And it's really hard to explain that feeling to people that aren't bow hunters.